everybody, and welcome back to the Broadway Jets YouTube channel. You'll know me from Twitter as NYJ Mike. I'm joined as always by the master of receipts, NYJ Matt. And Matt, the Jets were 5-8. They had a chance to keep the season alive and have Aaron Rodgers come back on Christmas Eve in a triumphant feat of human discipline and will. And instead, they lose 30-0 to the Tyreek Hill-less Miami Dolphins and are officially eliminated from playoff contention. Not fun, Matt. Not fun.
It's not fun. You almost feel like you have a whole game, everything right in front of you. There's a clear path to get to a maybe win in game the final week. A lot of people said that the Jets, if they went 9-8, had like a 20% chance. I still, like, in my brain, don't get that. I'm like, if we're 9-8, we're making the playoffs. I don't care what happens.
We're in, yeah.
And
I still think, by the way, the Jets are mathematically out. I still think they can make it with 8 wins.
It's weird because the reaction on Twitter, people are obviously very disappointed. There's like a 2% of the group that I really feel loves being in pain. And they're just like, oh, like we're 13, the longest in all of sports. Yeah, that's not fun. Not being in the playoffs longer than any team in the big 4 U.S. sports is not a badge of honor. It makes me want to fucking die. Like it is a horrific stat. But if you are here, hit subscribe, hit like, comment. Thanks for being a part of the family here. Mike, 30-0 is not how you drew it up. And the Jets were outclassed in every manner of the game today. Just from the first series, you force a punt, you get a first down on offense, and then everything from there was garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. Take me through it from your perspective.
Yeah, I even put on my Zach Wilson jersey, which I never wear. I put it on today. Fuck. God damn it. And I put it on, and it didn't help. I thought it would help. And it just, it was another one of those games where not any good things happen, where we actually talked about it. First of all, I tweeted this out. The most exciting part of the whole day was that the Dolphins announced that Tyreek Hill was not playing. So we're like, let's go. I went to the bar with my dad and one of my good buddies. We're watching the game. Jets stop the Dolphins, get the ball, convert a first down. You're like, on third down. We're like, Zach's back. Then just that's it. How is that it? Not any other good things. It's unbelievable. And in that important of a game, it's another one of those things where it just makes you lose faith in Saleh because you can't lose 30-0 in a must-win game. You can't do it. And the Jets' offensive line was disgusting today.
The first half, especially, it was terrible all day. But the first half, they didn't even give Zach Wilson a chance.
It's not on Zach. This is not on Zach.
Zach was like 4 for 11 today. But, Becton had a bad game. Awful. Tomlinson and Tippmann, I don't know. But the right side of the line got murdered every chance they could get.
Yeah, where are Roger Saffold and Dwayne Brown? So right at the trade deadline, the Jets made the move. They signed Roger Saffold, who is a Pro Bowl guard. He's obviously older.
Right.
You have to start. Why are you? He can't beat out Jake Hansen or who the fuck that guy is, and Dwayne Brown can't play on this offensive line, where he was supposed to be your starter. He was literally your starting left tackle, and you can't find a spot for him when you have 28 injuries. Like, what are we doing?
But you meet with Saleh on Monday, on Wednesday, and Friday. Maybe you don't ask that question on the Sunday, but you have a chance tomorrow. You have a chance Wednesday and Friday to ask these questions, and Saleh better have a good answer. My confidence in this regime 2 weeks ago is the lowest it's ever been. You had a big high on that win against Houston last week.
And Matt, just to build on that, the high on that win last week, the reason that it's such a high is that is what's supposed to happen when Rodgers plays. And that was the formula. It's this championship level defense, and then you score enough points, and then when it clicks, it clicks.
Yeah, and I'm at the point now where it's like if Saleh gets fired or Douglas gets fired, I'm very indifferent to it now. Whereas like 5 weeks ago, I'm like, I want to see it play out with Rodgers, what could have been. I feel like they did a lot of things we wanted, and then obviously the offseason was not what we had planned. We keep saying post Rodgers trade, everything they did was against what we thought they probably should have done. But Mike, I want to talk about the game itself, but I tweeted out the video of Rodgers looking upset on the sideline. And of course, the immediate take, a lot of people agree with it. It's like, hey, you guys couldn't go 6-8. You couldn't
Couldn't
go
go 6-8. You can't just not
500.
be 5-9.
And it's interesting. A lot of people come back to that tweet and they go, well, Rodgers is part of it. He got all these players that suck. He got Hackett that sucked. And I want to make one point very clear. If you want to tie in the Hackett with Rodgers, fair game. Fair game. I even said when they got Hackett, I was like, I don't want this unless it brings in Rodgers. And I'm fine with that package deal because it happened. If you want to say, hey, Rodgers, Hackett sucks, proven without you, he's not good, have that argument. I can't stand the player's argument. And if you disagree, please comment. We'll talk about it in the comments below. Billy Turner was never supposed to see the field. Randall Cobb was a wide receiver 5. Allen Lazard should have been wide receiver 3, and maybe he's a little different when he has Rodgers. Corey Davis wasn't supposed to retire. They act like our entire starting offense was built on Rodgers players, and technically right now it might be because everyone's hurt, but Billy Turner wasn't going to play meaningful snaps, Mike. I just think that player argument about Rodgers is part of the blame. I think that's bullshit, personally. The coaching, I can have the debate with you. Hackett's terrible. We all know it. But the player thing, I think it's so overrated and overblown.
No, I completely agree. And honestly, I don't give a shit if Rodgers does hold the organization hostage, if quote unquote. Do whatever the fuck you want. The fact of the matter is, Matt, next year, well, first of all, if even the Jets have basically the same team they had last year, and they were 7-4, and like if you're in that spot, Rodgers comes back, you have a chance to win a Super Bowl. Very, very frustrating. I still think the Jets, and this is the thing that's going to get lost in all of this nonsense and losing and horrific nonsense, and this is why we don't want to tank, because this sucks and everyone's pissed off and it sucks. But the Jets are going to come out next year if they manage the offseason normally, which one, not drafting a quarterback in the first round and taking an offensive tackle, get another wide receiver so Jalen Ramsey can't just shut down Garrett Wilson, and then there's literally no chance of us doing anything else, and get another offensive lineman, maybe a fat run-stuffing defensive tackle like you had with Al Woods. It really hurt when Al Woods went down. The run defense was embarrassing today. But these are like relatively normal, easy fixes that you have the assets to get. Matt, the Jets are going to be a top 10 Super Bowl favorite to start next year. I think so. I really do.
Yeah.
And to that point, when you said about Saleh and Douglas, if you want to fire them, go ahead. If not, I'm okay. But if they do get fired, I will not lose sleep, because you have 1 or 2 chances at this, and just get the best people in here to do it.
Yeah. And I don't know if you heard, I forget the sideline reporter, the woman today, who they all make things up anyway. She claimed that Rodgers told her, and you're at the bar, so you probably didn't hear this, that Rodgers said he could play, like he feels like he could play 2 to 3 more years. Like he just keeps doubling down on that quote.
Good.
So the run defense, though, to Mike, I left the game having that same thought. I'm like, the run defense was fucking terrible today. And they ended up only giving up 28 for 77 yards, like 2.8 yards per carry. Yeah, 2.8 yards per carry. The reason why it felt worse is there was like 3 different runs that Mostert had of like 20 yards that got called back for holding. So like mentally, it made it feel like
the Robbie Chosen offsides.
Yep.
I mean, it's just to be, this defense is great, and they played awful today, and they were not helped obviously at all. But to be a really amazing defense, they have to be more rugged. You can't be the last ranked run defense. And I was looking at the stats the other day. The Jets have run the ball like 100 something less times than the opponent. I think the Jets have averaged more yards per carry than their opponents. It's just, there's a lot of volume there. But it does feel like, the Jets can't, imagine we get a yard, and then the other team runs the ball on us, and it's like there's a gaping hole.
Yeah, the defense today wasn't great. The first half wasn't on them. Like they get unlucky a handful of times. Also, the Waddle 8 for 142. I don't think DJ Reed outside of, I think 2 catches were on DJ Reed out of the 8.
There were 2 obvious ones, the bomb and the one over the middle.
The other 6 really felt like he would just find any spot in the zone over the middle, quick play outside. It just like Waddle played great today. And it sucks that like losing 30-0, Mike. If they had Tyreek Hill and the Jets had Trevor Siemian starting for this first second, it would be more obvious than what occurred today, because the offensive line itself, and we talked about tanking before, and I don't want to be hypocritical, because last episode I literally said the fabric of your team, carrying your point, why you want to win those games. You don't want to be 4-13. If the Jets end up picking like 12th in the draft and they beat Washington like 9-6 and they beat the Patriots 10-7, holy shit, you really better hope that Adarius Mims, the tackle from Georgia, is pretty good. Like you really need to have that happen. I'm not saying I'm rooting for losses or wins or whatever. I'm very indifferent for the final 3 games because I'm so disappointed that we were so close to seeing Rodgers come back. But Jesus Christ, you really want to leave a draft with Joe Alt or Fasanu from Penn State. That is almost a must-have at this point.
It just sucks too. Like it's gonna, and now Zach has whatever concussion. Is he gonna play next week? I don't know. So like, and Rodgers, if he's cleared, wants to play, but man, like it really would be tough to put him behind that line. That was really embarrassing.
You could argue, out of any game to do it, you would want the Washington game, because you can't put him out there in Cleveland against Myles Garrett, and you can't put him against, what is at New England against Matthew Judon. You just don't want that. So
I think Judon's out, but yeah.
Oh, is he out?
Yeah. But it's like what Belichick, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you just get so close and you get your hopes built up and you win 30-6 last week. And you win 30-6 in a way that, again, like you said, like if the Jets win 9-6 next week, it's stupid. But you won the way that you're supposed to win. You want, like, the Jets built their team around this supposed identity, and then about great defense, and if you score enough points, and like the offense should move a little bit with Rodgers, then you saw what it was supposed to be. And then it's just the next week you have negative yards until there's like 2 minutes left in the first half. So it's so disappointing, Matt. And honestly, losing a game like that is not as devastating as losing like a 28-24 game. But why can't we lose a 28-24 game and have like some fun moments? It wasn't fun at all today. It was not a good time. I love hanging out with my dad and my friend, but like, fuck, man, we're just sitting there the whole time like, all right, maybe this is the drive. And it's 17-0.
Mike, I know you mentioned before the Jets having top 10 Super Bowl odds next year. I feel like the defense is there. I feel like no matter what is happening, the Jets will have a top 8 defense. Could it be 8? Could it be top 3? I don't know. I feel like they're good enough.
Same exact defense, except maybe there'll be one less pass rusher.
I feel good about the defense, and there's gaps throughout the year where you don't feel great about them, but overall, their body of work has been phenomenal.
This year has been unbelievable, man. I think
it's weird because 2021, like, they had the worst defense in the NFL.
I get it.
We're 1 year removed of that, so keep that momentum. They were
that's good 2 straight years of great defense, and this is Matt. This was terrific. We have to not forget there were games where they have 15 drives that they're playing. If you play like the Texans game where you're scoring points and you're flipping the field and you are controlling field position, they're elite, Matt. They're then you don't even get gas in the run game.
But my problem is on the offensive side of the ball. What shouldn't happen is happening, where I have more questions now than I did in week 1. So the questions I have, no one on the offensive side of the ball, I'm trying to think of it, progressed well enough that I thought they would. So Garrett Wilson is very much, we know he's amazing. Breece Hall is amazing. We love them to death. They're going to be starters on this team, God willing, 10 more years. They have been on the same level as they were the rookie year, right? There's nothing separating them, and there hasn't been enough growth because their quarterback play is horrible, their offensive line is terrible. So that's a little bit concerning. I'd love to see them take the next step. They're very much same spot.
Garrett, I actually disagree with you. I think Garrett and Breece are just exceptional players.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not my.
It's just the offense is. It's just not.
My problem is you want them to come elite. And we want that to happen this year, and that didn't happen. So take them. I'm starting with them because I want to pull them aside. They're the 2 best players in the offense.
That's fair.
Becton did not stand up what he did his rookie year, which
I'm so disappointed, Matt. I thought Becton was going to be so good if he could just play, and he played.
He didn't bring it up. Tomlinson's been very much kind of just a guard, right? Nothing standing up to being what he was in the Pro Bowl. Nothing, not the worst guard ever. AVT, another year down where it's like, yeah, when he's in there, he's going to be great, but is he going to be in there? You then have no solve at the other tackle spot, praying to God Tippmann can keep bouncing forward with good weeks, but also you have weeks where he gets up like 3 pressures. So Tippmann, I like building block. You have no receivers outside of Garrett. Xavier Gipson can't be your wide receiver 3 or 4 going into a year. Lazard, you gave all this money to. He's terrible. You have other guys like Cobb, doesn't mean anything. Harmon, traded. And I'm like, where Rodgers going to come in next year, be healthy again. You're now needing a wide receiver 2, a wide receiver 3, a decent backup running back, because I don't think Cook will be back. 3 linemen. Like, it's very concerning, Mike.
Sure, yeah, but I get it. But listen, the defense is completely intact. Every single person is going to be here. Depends what they want to do with JFM. But like Carl Lawson's money comes off the books. So you give that to Bryce Huff and you figure out how to keep those guys. But everyone's back. Sauce, Reed, Michael Carter,
Quincy.
CJ Mosley. They're all back. Everyone's back. So your defense should be good. And then you can get 6 players in an offseason. You can get 6 players. Like, you can do it. You have a draft and you have some money. And you just get these guys. And listen, like, your tight ends are there. You have Conklin, you have Rucker, you figure it out. You can't get 2 receivers and a fucking couple offensive linemen to play with a Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, give me a break. I'm so ready. I am so optimistic for next year. I know I do this blah 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 optimism bullshit. This is not a ruse. It's not anything. It's a legitimate, really, really terrific defense, I think. And you have a Hall of Fame quarterback that's going to play with these guys, and it's going to elevate everybody, Matt. And Lazard hopefully will be a little better too when he has Rodgers. You know, even though he's an absolute piece of shit scumbag this year. My dad said he texted me the other day. He texted us. He was like, "Sorry, I'll be back in 8 seconds. I have to watch the Alan Lazard 2023 highlight film." It's so stupid, but it's like,
Mike, you said before, get 5 to 6 guys, new guys on offense, right? You have a draft.
You really need 5 guys, Matt. You need 5 guys because you could just use Izzy as your backup running back. So you literally need 5 guys. You need 3 offensive linemen and 2 receivers, and that's it. That's it for your whole offseason. It's not hard.
Here's my question, right?
Yeah, and a backup quarterback. 6.
Do you trust the guy in charge that he's going to get the right ones and do it?
I'm scared.
That's my fear. Like, that is my fear.
I'm fucking scared, and I'm so scared he's going to take a quarterback in the first round, which it doesn't make any sense. I'm so scared. I'm already scared.
I don't think they'll let him. I don't think they'll let him.
All right. Well, listen, if
Rodgers commits to 2-3 years, Mike, they would never do that to him again because he did it with the Jordan Love thing. They can't do that.
Sure, I don't fucking know, and I'm nervous now. And again, to your point, with Saleh and Douglas, like, I'm losing faith very quickly. It's very embarrassing to lose 30-0 to your divisional opponent in a game that you have to win. It's very, very embarrassing, and it's And Joe Douglas had very embarrassing moments in terms of not acquiring new quarterbacks and trying to get receiver. We talk about it all the time. You try to get a certain receiver. You're trying to get Odell Beckham. You're on record. You're trying to trade for Devontae Adams at the trade deadline, and when that doesn't work, you just don't do anything else. It's bizarre. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that was why I did that exercise. My fear is, do we have the right people to get those 5 new guys? Because even if you take,
but to be fair, Matt, the reason that we only need 5 new guys is because I do like the other 17 guys. So I do. I really like the defense. It's terrific. And that was frugal work by Douglas. You know, you get DJ Reed for pennies on the dollar. JFM is a fucking undrafted guy you get for nothing from, you know, you get Bryce Huff. Like, these are fine. Michael Carter. These are terrific guys that you didn't pay a lot for. So I am losing faith in the management. But you talk about all the time. You need 22 guys, 22 good players. We have 17 of them, Matt. 17.
I know. And in the current NFL, the biggest thing is protecting your quarterback, having a good offensive line, and having guys separate, and that's where we have one really good one in Garrett Wilson, who my argument before is I want him to become elite, but he can't become elite in the current structure, right? So maybe Rodgers coming back and
Right, but what do you think his stats are next year if him and Rodgers play 17 games?
he's gonna have. If it sucks to say it was bad because he could have gotten to like 94, 1,200, and like 5 touchdowns. I really think if a healthy year he can have 105, 1,400, and 8. I really do.
So there's your answer. That's it. So he's elite.
But I don't
That's
know that
him.
yet. I need to see him. I need to see
I
him do
know,
it. But
but
it just sucks that the offense does nothing all the time, and it's not his fault. And of
but
course,
but you know that's not going to happen when Rodgers is playing, right? Yeah, I mean, we think, right?
yeah, Rodgers has to be upright. That's like a catch-22. You have to draft offensive lineman now, and you have to use capital to go get Davante Adams, right, and bring him to a team that now your argument before about you can't lose every game stands true, because why the fuck would Davante Adams want to come here when the Raiders stadium right now and the crowd that they have and they're winning games, they just put up a 60 burger, like they're fighting for the playoffs. He's going to leave that to come to the Jets because of one guy? Like, I don't know. That's why also you make the argument to win games.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Very important. Did you see the stat before the game about Zach Wilson versus the AFC East on the road?
93 yards on a game, and it somehow got worse.
I do feel bad because I think they count his 2021 Patriot game where he got hurt early on.
Yeah.
But
to be clear, the stat was that in AFC East games on the road, Zach Wilson's 0-5, and it's thrown for 93 yards a game. And I was laughing about it too before the game. And we're like, all right, haha. And then it got worse.
47% completion. That part you can't, you just can't. You flip a coin, and it's more likely that he's going to the ball's going to hit the ground or throw a pick.
It's very disturbing, but the blueprint was there. I believe in the blueprint of this great defense and Rodgers, and it's there next year. If Rodgers was like retiring, or where I would be so devastated, Matt, I'm telling you, because I think they would have wasted this really, really good chance, and you're gonna get another chance. So I'm okay. I'm okay.
What percent? I tweeted it out. It has 270 replies in the past hour. On a scale of 1 to 100, your confidence level in Robert Saleh, and the same question for Joe Douglas, 1 to 100.
Saleh, 1 to 130 for Saleh, and like 15 for Joe Douglas, which is very strange because, again, I do like a lot of the things that Joe Douglas did. I really, really do. There's just so many weird things that don't make any sense. And it makes me nervous. It's like I don't even know how to make an analogy. It's like, what if like Mike Evans was like really wanted to come to the Jets, and Joe Douglas was like, I'm going to sign a random, just a random play. I don't know what he's going to do. It's scary. There's not getting a quarterback, man. And in hindsight, who knows what would have happened, and he's got bad luck with the offensive line injuries, Douglas, but I'm scared, man.
Not very questionable days ahead. And the thing
we're
that sucks is
we're technically in a good spot where we keep saying it. You have money to spend. The Jets are not complete, they can't not spend money, and you have draft picks, and you only need a few things. This is not years past where we're looking around our team and we're like, there's 11 positions that we need to fill. We need to fill 5 things, and 2 of them are the same position: offensive line and wide receiver. So, you know what I mean? Like even if you go and get a real wide receiver 2, like let's say you get Mike Evans, then if Allen Lazard is your 3, whatever, it sucks, but it's fine. Like, I don't care. And if someone gets hurt, it is like you want more depth, blah blah blah. But there's ways to build this roster. Man, we're gonna have Aaron Rodgers. We're gonna have a great defense. You know, we're gonna have it. We're gonna have Brees. Brees either gets 0 yards exactly or 82, but that won't happen with a real offensive line, I hope.
Yeah. I'm at a loss. I have nothing left to say. This is not
so
fun.
Sad, man. We should I'm not going to go to the game next week. We should be looking forward to next week. Rodgers was going to come back. You're still alive. It's just not right. They're not even close. Like, it was embarrassing.
Curb stomped.
It's not how it's supposed to be. Got to be in that game, man. Like, what are they doing in practice all week? That's what I was thinking. Like, what is the offense doing?
You see the Lazard quote?
They're unprepared, whatever.
Out efforted.
Out efforted. It was like
Is that
it wasn't
even
even like it wasn't even like it didn't. I didn't feel like they weren't trying. It was like it just felt like the offense had no chance to do anything.
There's a few towards the end, like Mostert runs, where I just felt like the defense was not like business decision. They're like, you need to get out of this game and just end it.
I mean, let's all the semantics. Like
A few runs at the end.
It does. If that continues, it would change my perception of Salah. But in a game like this, it's just like it's just not right.
I'm a big press conference listener. I like listening to the press conferences after the game. If I have to hear one more Salah press conference that begins with credit to them, I don't know what I'm going to do. Every week, it's the same thing.
Oh.
Credit to them. Credit to them. You got to give credit to them. Every time. Why can't one time you go out there and I guess, I don't know. I don't want to rip players. Just you need to take more accountability. He's a player's coach, but the players aren't. You can't have players saying that they're losing the effort battle. Once you do that, like, why are you even a coach? What's the point? Because he always says you need players to coach themselves, right? Maybe you can't have that if you can't put effort and you're losing 30-0 to a division rival. The Jets are what, 1-4 in the AFC East?
Yeah, they beat the Bills.
Yeah, they're 1-4, and they could be 1-5 in Bill Belichick's last ever game as a Patriot head coach. Fucking, it's not. It's, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't want to take up too much of our airtime. I don't ever want to compare Salah to Adam Gase. I don't. But Adam Gase we complained that he was lifeless and had no energy. And the only time we see any energy from Salah is if the defense makes like a cool tackle for a loss. But every press conference now is lifeless. The 30-second offense. Like, it really is, like, he should be getting the same type of shit for it. And I don't want to give him that low of a level, but at a point where you got to start calling a spade a spade. It's the same thing.
The shit's very warranted. It's especially when you play a game like last week and you see what the team was supposed to be able to do, and they do that in that game. And you have 7 other of these games that are just horrific. Like you just can't score points. Where they get shut out? How many times they've been shut out? I don't even know. Yeah, or
without scoring a touchdown, has been multiple games. I don't think they've been shut out yet.
Or they're like 6 points, whatever. It's just like,
yeah, it's games at 3 points, 6 points. They have one first quarter touchdown.
It's on him. And I think what will happen is if he doesn't get fired, the Jets are still going to be good. I think it's going to be good next year because of the reasons I've said. But maybe they should just cut bait and make a move. It's very uninspiring, Matt, to play these kind of games.
It's not fun to be a fan. But Buffalo Jet fan had a very good tweet. He said, do you think Rodgers cares more about his friends than his legacy in the NFL? Like, if there's a clear path for him to get with Woody Douglas at the time and say, we're getting a new head coach, we need a new coordinator, I don't give a fuck about this or that. We need to get this shit together and win football games. I actually don't think he'd get rid of Hackett, but I think I could see a path where he's like, we need a new head coach. The team itself is not disciplined. I know Hackett's a good play caller, quote unquote, from Rodgers' perspective. So I don't know. I think Rodgers cares more about the legacy aspect. I think that was a good take.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I don't think Rodgers. I think Rodgers being right. The problem with it would be Rodgers getting mad that they're fired Hackett, not Salah. Always, that was always and I always think with Hackett is more of an issue. The Jets defense again has terrific players, so I think you could bring in someone and be fine. Maybe Ulbrich will get a head coaching job somewhere else. So then if you do fire Salah, you kind of lose your defensive whatever the fuck. But yeah, and I think Hackett's been objectively the worst of all of between Hackett, Salah, and Joe Douglas this year. I think Hackett's been the worst.
Agreed.
And then I have a toss up between the other two.
Your 30-15 comparison I thought was really good. I'm
so mad at Joe Douglas too. I'm so fucking mad. Pissed me off.
He also doesn't have to talk to the media ever. He needs to.
Yeah, man, there are moves to be made, and you have, and I always preface it. I cannot appreciate enough some of the moves that he made, including the unbelievable draft last year. But there's just too many bad, moves that weren't made. Nelly's pissed off too. Nelly's not happy. Oh, Matt.
I think we got to wrap it. We will bring some more energy, some more positivity. We're more upbeat, energetic.
It's not even negative. I'm just
it's
sad.
Gonna be fun.
I'm upset. I'm very disappointing. Of all the disappointing Jet years, this one is right up there. If the Jets started the season with Zach Wilson as the quarterback, it would not be the top of my list. It's of course a lot to do with the Rodgers injury and those high expectations. And it's just the fact that Rodgers though came back. He came back for us, or probably more for himself. He came back for us, and we didn't even have a chance to see it. We would have had a chance. I hope he plays anyway. I don't give a fuck, by the way. On the record, I do not give a shit. I hope he plays.
The Commanders game, fine. I can't have him playing against Myles Garrett. I can't have that.
If he plays the Commanders game, he's playing against Myles Garrett. So.
No, you can make the argument, though. He needed an extra. It's on a short week, Thursday night game.
Oh, maybe they'll bench him, yeah.
So they'll be like, he came back. It's all we could do. He needs a week recovery. That could happen.
I hope so.
Wait, I'm starting to think Rodgers is going to play next Sunday.
He's going to play on Sunday. I think
he's going to be mad and be like, if he plays, I'm going to the game.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. I like it.
All he's right, gonna. I bet he plays. I've as a betting man.
Wait, I'm actually thinking he's gonna play now. I don't know why. That just hit me. I'm like, oh yeah, he's mad that they suck. He's gonna be like, I still want to prove people wrong. I'm medically cleared. I'm playing football.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, another season in the books, Matt. Another season of no playoffs. It's not right.
I gotta go. Nelly's being insane.
Nelly, just all right.
Have a good night, buddy.
Peace out.